Today we will solve a numerical problems on flexural strength of pre-stressed concrete sections. Before solving the numerical problems, we shall discuss the different types of problems may be asked. To find out the flexural strength of rectangular sections or flanged sections. In flanged sections, the T sections, I sections or double T section. Is in post tension beam also the rectangular section will be there and pre-tensioned flanged sections, T sections, then double T sections, I sections. So we will solve these numerical problems on pre-tension beam today. So this is, I will read this problem. A pre-tensioned pre-stressed concrete beam having a rectangular section 150 mm wide and 350 mm deep has an effective cover of 50 mm. If FCK is 40 Newton per mm square, FP is 1600 Newton per mm square, the area of pre-stressing steel is 461 mm square. Calculate the flexural strength of section using IS 1343 code provisions. So we'll write the given data here. Given data. Since it is a rectangular section, width of the beam is given 150 mm. Depth of the beam, overall depth is given 350 mm. Then effective cover is given, we'll denote it as 50 mm. Then FCK is given, characteristic strength of concrete, so it is 40 Newton per mm square. Then FP is given, it is a characteristic strength of steel, that is 1600 Newton per mm square. Then the area of pre-stressing steel is given, AP is equal to 461 mm square. So now we'll solve this problem. We required here effective depth. Since overall depth is given and effective cover is given, so here how to calculate this effective depth? Here this is a rectangular beam is given for your understanding purpose. I have drawn here 150 mm. Then the depth is 350 mm. Then pre-stressing tendon is located at 50 mm. Means effective cover is 50 mm. Therefore, the effective depth will be, therefore this is the effective depth, so it is 300 mm. I can write here effective depth is equal to effective depth is equal to overall depth minus effective cover. So overall depth is 350 mm minus effective cover is 50, so it is 300 mm. Next, we need to calculate the effective reinforcement ratio. Why we need to calculate, we come to know later. So effective reinforcement ratio, so that is FP into AP divided by B into D into FCK. So here FP is given in the problem, it is 1600, AP is area of pre-stressing steel, so we'll substitute here 1600, then it is 461 divided by B is 150, D is 300, effective depth, FCK is 40, so we'll get this value 0.40. Now we need to obtain the value of FPU by 0.87 FP and XU by D. So you can write here, to obtain the value of FPU divided by 0.87 FP and XU by D from table number 11 IS 13431980. So here these values are required to calculate the flexural strength of section. These values can be obtained from IS 13431980 table number 11 for pre-tensioned beams. So here in this FPU is effective pre-stress we have to calculate. FP we know, we have to obtain this value of this whole term which is mentioned in the table. Then also the XU by D value is mentioned in that table. So that we need to calculate. Now we will see how to obtain the values of FPU by 0.87 FP and XU by D from table number 11 of IS 1343. So here you can see in page number 59 this table is given to calculate or to obtain the value of FPU by 0.87 FP for pre-tensioning beam and post-tensioning beam with effective tendon. If it is effective bond, then you can go for this table. Then if post-tension beam is there, then you should use the table number 12 of IS 1343 on page number 60. So we will obtain, since it is a pre-tension beam, we will obtain the value of FPU divided by 0.87 FP. Now this FPU divided by 0.87 FP, we have got the value for this effective reinforcement ratio is 0.40. For this we have this value from the table 0.9. So this value is FPU divided by 0.87 FP. This value from this, it is 0.9, and the value of XU by D you can obtain from this, since it is a pre-tension beam. So here 0.40 effective reinforcement ratio. Then from this you can obtain, this is 0.783. So XU by D value is 0.783. So now we can calculate, this is a effective pre-stress. So we can calculate now effective pre-stress. Therefore FPU is equal to 0.87. FP is 1600, directly I will mention here. Then it is 0.9. So you will get this value 1253 Newton per mm square. Then you can also calculate XU now. Here multiply D here, 0.783 into D. So you will get 0.78 into 300. So it is 234.9 mm. Now once you know the depth of neutral axis, then effective pre-stress, you can calculate the ultimate moment capacity of the section or flexural strength of PSC sections. So here we can write here ultimate moment capacity or flexural strength of section. Flexural strength of section, mu is equal to FPU into AP into D minus 0.42 XU. So I will substitute that values. 1253, AP is 461, then D is 300 minus 0.42 into XU is 234.9. So we'll get this value 116 into 10 raised to 6 Newton mm or 116 kilonewton meter. If you divide this by 10 raised to 6, then it gives in kilonewton meter. So this is the final answer of this problem. Now we will solve a second type of problem. Neutral axis lies within the flange of a T section. Okay, so I'll read this problem. A pre-tension T section has a flange which is 300 mm wide and 200 mm thick. The rib is 150 mm wide and by 350 mm. The effective depth of cross section is 500 mm. Given AP area of pre-stressing steel is 200 mm square, then FCK is 50 Newton per mm square, FP is 1600 Newton per mm square. Estimate the ultimate moment capacity of the T section using IS 1343 regulations. So ultimate moment capacity means it is a flexural strength of sections. So we'll write the given data. T section, the width of the flange is given, will denote as df, so it is 300 mm. Then the thickness of flange will denote as 200 mm. Then the width of the rib or width of the web, it is given 150 mm. Then depth of rib is given 350 mm. Then effective cross section, effective depth is given, it is 500 mm. Then AP is 200 mm square. Then FCK is 50 Newton per mm square. Then FP is equal to 1600 Newton per mm square. So now we'll solve the problem. For your understanding purpose, I will draw the sketch of this T section. Here the width of flange is given, then thickness of flange also given, then width of the rib is given, which is smaller than the thickness of flange. So proportionately we will draw. This is the T section. Then this is the width of flange. It is 300 mm. Then this is the thickness of flange. 200 mm is given. Then width of the rib is given, so it is 150 mm, and this size depth is given, it is 350 mm. Therefore overall depth is the extreme top fiber to extreme bottom fiber. This distance is overall depth, so we can write here the overall depth. Okay, so overall depth is how much? 350 plus 200, so it is 550 mm. Now how to calculate the effective depth? So here effective depth already given. So here from the top extreme compression fiber it is measured. So this D is given in the problem, 500 mm. Okay. So here first we will assume that the neutral axis lies here. Two types of problems may be asked. One is neutral axis lies within the flange and neutral axis lies below the flange. We have to check whether that neutral axis lies within the flange or below the flange. Okay, so first we will assume depth of neutral axis lies within the flange. Okay, so if it is neutral axis lies within the flange, then this area will be in compression. So we have to calculate the effective reinforcement ratio by considering B as width of the flange. Okay, so effective reinforcement ratio we will calculate. Reinforcement ratio. Effective reinforcement ratio is AP into FP divided by, instead of B we will take BF here, BF into D into FCK. So we will calculate this. We will substitute the values. If AP is 200 mm square, then FP is 1600 Newton per mm square, BF is 300 mm, then effective depth is 500 mm, then FCK is 50 Newton per mm square. So we'll get this value 0.04. Now, based on this effective reinforcement ratio and from the table number 11, we can obtain the value of FPU divided by 0.7 FP. Obtain the value of FPU divided by 0.87 FP and XU by D from table number 11 IS 13431980. Okay. Now we will obtain the value of FPU divided by 0.87 FP and XU by D from the table number 11 of IS 13431980. So we have calculated this effective reinforcement ratio. That value is 0.04, and here in the table number 11 it is given that the values for 0.025 and 0.05 is 1 here. So here it is 0.05. Here also it is 1. So this also will be 1. Because here for 0.025 and 0.05 it is straight line. So here the FPU by 0.87 FP value will be for 0.04 effective reinforcement ratio is 1. Okay. So now for XU by D we will check. Now you can see here it is a pre-tension beam. So here the value for effective reinforcement ratio 0.025, the XU by D value is 0.054. Then effective reinforcement ratio is 0.05. The value of XU by D is here 0.109. For this we need to calculate, for this 0.04 we need to calculate the value of XU by D. So from the interpolation we can obtain these values. So here first you can write here the maximum value is 0.10. You can draw inclined line first, then 0.109, and here it is 0.054. then drag the lines, then draw this. Okay, then corresponding value is 0.109 for what? For effective reinforcement ratio 0.05, and 0.054, the corresponding effective reinforcement ratio is 0.025. Then we have to calculate the XU by day value for 0.04. So here it comes. It is 0.04. This X we need to calculate. Okay. Up to this we know the height. It is 0.054. Okay. Now from the properties of similar triangle we can calculate this height so that we can obtain XU by D value for 0.04. Okay. So first this height divided by this base 0.109 minus 0.054 will be this height divided by this width. How much it is? This width 0.05 minus 0.025 is equal to this height divided by this base. Height is x and base is this, from here to here. So here 0.04 minus 0.025. So you can obtain the value of x from this. Okay. Now XU by D value is 0.054 plus x. So this value you will get 0.09. Okay. Substitute the value of x, so you will get 0.09. Once you get the XU by D value, once you get the FPU by 0.87 FP value, then you can easily calculate the effective pre-stress. Okay. So now we will calculate the effective pre-stress. So this is FPU by 0.87 FP. This value is given 1. So now from this we can calculate. Therefore, FPU is equal to 0.87 into 1600. So we will get this value is 1392 Newton per mm square. Okay. Now we have got this value. This is XU by D value. Now we will calculate the ultimate flexural strength of these sections. Ultimate flexural strength of section. So this is MU. MU is equal to FPU into AP into D minus 0.42 XU. Substitute the values. 1392 is the effective pre-stress. Then area of pre-stressing steel 200 mm. Then effective depth is 500 mm minus 0.42 into XU is 45 mm. So this value is 134 into 10 raised to 6 Newton mm. So it is divided by 10 raised to 6. So it is kilonewton meter. This is the final value. This is also called as ultimate flexural strength of section or ultimate movement capacity of the section. This is third type of problem. A flange section, the neutral axis lies below the flange, but we don't know. We have to check whether it lies within the flange or below the flange. Okay, so we'll write the given data. Width of the flange is given is 1200 mm. Then thickness of flange is given is 150 mm. Then the width and depth of rib is given. Width of the rib is BW, it is 300 mm. Then the depth is given here 1500 mm. The width of the rib is 150 mm. Width of the web is 300 mm. Then the depth of web is equal to 1500 mm. Then the area of steel is given 47 mm square. Next, located at an effective cover of 1600 mm. So effective depth is given 1600 mm. Then the characteristic cube strength is given. It is FCA 40 Newton per mm square. Then FP characteristic strength of steel is given 1600 Newton per mm square. Okay, now we will solve this problem. For your understanding purpose, I will draw the sketch. This is a T section. The flange width is given. This is 1200 mm. Then thickness of flange is given. It is 150. Then width of the web and depth of the web is given. So width of the web is 300. Then depth of the web also given here. You can see here. So it is 1500 mm. Therefore, overall depth is the distance between the bottom extreme fiber to top extreme fiber. So this will be overall depth. This will be equal to 1500 plus 150 means it is 1650. And the effective depth is given already in the problem. So it is 1600 mm. 1600 mm. Okay. So now we have to assume that whether the depth of neutral axis lies within the flange or below the flange, we don't know. Okay. So first let us assume the depth of the neutral axis lies within the flange. Assume the depth of neutral axis lies within the flange. Okay. Now we will calculate the effective reinforcement ratio. So we know the formula: AP into FP divided by, instead of B we'll write ABF into D into FCK. Why we are writing here? Because we are assuming the width of the depth of the neutral axis within the flange. So we are considering this portion. So B will be for this 1200 mm. Okay, so we substitute the value. Area of pre-stress steel is 4700. Then FP is 1600 mm. Then width of the flange is 1200 mm. Then depth of the flange is 1600. Then it is 40 Newton per mm square is the grade of concrete. This value we will get is 0.098 something. Okay, it is nearest to the what. We have to check whether this depth of neutral axis lies within the flange or no. So we will not waste time here. Okay, nearest to 1. So you can obtain the value of xu by d from this table. Obtain the value of xu by d for this effective reinforcement ratio 0.1. The value is 0.27. This xu by d value from the table number 11 is for effective reinforcement ratio 0.1. It is 0.217. Therefore xu value is xu is 0.217 into effective depth 1600 mm. So we get this value 234.9 mm. So our depth of the flange is 150, but we have got the depth of neutral axis is 234.9 mm. So here xu is greater than thickness of flange. So this neutral axis lies here below the flange. Then while calculating, we have to consider this portion and this portion. This portion we have to calculate. Now our assumption was not correct. The depth of neutral axis lies below the flange. Okay, so now we have to calculate, we have to distribute how much the area of pre-stressing steel should be distributed in the web portion and how much area of pre-stressing steel should be distributed in the flange portion. First we will write this statement: xu is greater than df. Our assumption is wrong. Neutral axis lies below the flange. Okay, so now we will distribute the area of pre-stressing steel is 4700. We have to distribute in the web portion as well as in the flange portion. Okay, so here it is APW, means area of pre-stressing steel in the web portion. Then APF means area of pre-stressing steel in the flange portion. First we will calculate the APF, means area of pre-stressing steel should be distributed in the flange portion. So how to calculate this? APF. Okay, so now what is the stress at the extreme fiber is 0.45 FCK. Compressive stress is 0.45 FCK. Now here this portion is web portion, this portion is web portion. So only this we have to take into account. Okay, so it is BF minus BW, into DF divide by FP. You will get the area of pre-stressing steel in the flange portion. So it will substitute the value 0.45 into 40 into width of the flange is 1200, width of the rib is 300, depth of the flange is 150, divide by FP is 1600. So you will get 1518 mm square. Then we can calculate the area of pre-stressing steel required for web portion. Therefore below you can write here, this is therefore APW is equal to, here we know APF. Okay, so AP minus APF. So AP is total steel, which is 4700, and APF, the steel required for flange portion, it is 1518. So you will get this value is equal to 3182 mm square. Now, to calculate the depth of neutral axis, we require the effective reinforcement ratio, because based on this we can obtain the value of that XU by D and this FPU by 0.87 FP. Okay, so from this table substitute here APW. Why I have taken here APW only? Why total area of steel? Why I have not taken here? This formula or this the values are given only for the rectangular section, so only weft portion we have to consider. That's why I have taken here APW, that is 3182 mm square area. So now here from the table number 11 for pre-tension beam, this value based on the effective reinforcement ratio, this FPU by 0.87 FP value is for 0.25 effective reinforcement ratio, this value is 1. For 0.265 the value we don't know, but that value ranges 1 to 1, means it should be 1. Okay, then XU by D values from this table number 11 is for 0.25 effective reinforcement ratio, this value is 0.542, and for 0.30 the value is 0.655, and we need to calculate the value of XU by D for 0.265 effective reinforcement ratio. That how to calculate? By the interpolation. Okay, so now we'll draw an inclined line here. This is 0.655 and it is 0.542. Draw the lines here. Write here corresponding values. 0.542 effective reinforcement ratio is how much? 0.25. Then for XU by D 0.655, corresponding value is 0.3. Now we need to calculate this value, XU by D value for 0.265. So now consider this is X. From the properties of similar triangle, we can calculate this X. This height divided by this base is equal to this height divided by this base. Okay. So now from this 0.655, this height and this height is we know. So it is minus 0.542. You will get this divide by base. Base is 0.30 minus 0.25 is equal to this height divided by this base. X divided by 0.265 minus 0.25. This is minus. So therefore the XU by D value is, you will get 0.542 plus the value of X. Calculate from this. So you will get this value. XU is equal to 0.56. 0.56. Then now you can calculate. Therefore, now you can calculate FPU, means effective pre-stress also you can calculate. Then this also you can calculate. Okay. So first of all, we will calculate this effective reinforcement ratio. Therefore, FPU is equal to, this is 0.87 into FP into 1. So it is 0.87 FP is 1600 into 1. So you will get this value is 1392 Newton per mm square. Then also we can obtain calculate the value of XU. Therefore XU is equal to, multiply here effective depth 0.56 D it is. So it is 0.56 into depth is 1600 mm. So you will get this, if depth of neutral axis is equal to 896 mm. Now already we have calculated the depth of neutral axis and the effective pre-stress. So now ultimate movement capacity of the section, or ultimate flexural strength of section of T section is given by mu is equal to, so mu the formula is point FTU into APW into D minus 0.42 into XU plus 0.45 FCK DF minus DW into DF into D minus 0.5 DF. So we will substitute the values here. FP is effective pre-stress it is. So effective pre-stress we have got that value is 1392. APW we have got 3182. Then effective depth is 1600 mm. Then 0.42 into XU is 896 plus 0.45 FCK is 40. Then width of the flange is 1200. Then width of the rib is or web is 300. Then depth of the flange is 150. Then overall depth is 600 minus 0.5 into depth of the flange 150. So we'll get this value is equal to 9125 into 10⁶ Newton mm. If you divide by 10⁶, then you will get 9125 kilonewton meter. This is the ultimate flexural strength of section or ultimate movement capacity of section.